Thanks for stopping by the office. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It is week 10, the main slate. We got to pull down a GPP this week, fellas. I got Willie Walls. I got the great Swame Odell blocker. I feel like I like this week. I feel like I'm locked in, guys. Willie Walls, are you locked in this week?
Well, yeah, I'm ready, but I'm going to have different views than what you might think. So we'll see when we go through this slate. There's some things I really don't like, and that some people don't. So we'll see.
Swami, what about you? You feeling very definite in your opinions this week?
I think I'm feeling good about them, but Doc, it's time to put it together. I think you said it early. I think we've had pieces, we've made great calls. Now we got to put it together, and we gotta lock in.
You know, so fun, interesting you say that. I feel like every week we've named the guys, but it's like this puzzle that you just got to get them to all slide in at the same time, and somebody's taking down a tournament. So let's kick it off. We'll start with the 1 o'clock games. There's a lot, I don't know, guys. It's a lot of crappy games. Let's start with a crappy one. Green Bay and Pittsburgh. There's crap here, but there may be some nuggets of goodness. Could there be a Jalen Warren? Could it be a Najee Harris? Could there be something here, Willie, that we want to grab a hold of and put in our lineups?
Pass.
All right, there you go. Now, what about you, Swami? Will you take a Najee Harris at 4,900? Will you take a Jalen Warren at 5,000?
I think I do have some interest in Najee Harris. I think the way he's been running maybe the last 3 games or so. And then I saw a couple of times during the games, going back and looking at film, where there was some interaction between him and Tomlin, where Tomlin looked like he was encouraging him, or he really liked what he saw as far as like the level of effort that Najee Harris was giving on the field. So I just like that. It looks like they're going to kind of continue to lean on him and get him a little bit more involved. He's responding well. So I think at his price, he's definitely a man of interest. And I think, you got to consider somebody on the other side, right? Like, and to me, I know. But at some point, somebody's going to have a game. And this is one of those games where you could see somebody catching a deep one. I know I can see that, Doc. And I feel like maybe Watson might be a man of interest. I've heard some.
It's hard to get there, Swami, considering Pittsburgh's pass rush is going to be coming, and Jordan Love is going to be like, yeah, I'm a little bit dumb. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Plus, Watson he gets a chest contusion, a leg contusion. I mean, this guy's the epitome of having like 25 things wrong with his body.
So I'm not saying in general, right? I'm saying game theory. If you got Harris, it might not be bad. I like Christian more than Dobbs because I'm thinking about the home run or at least a big play or two if he can capture some of that. And if you're going to beat Pittsburgh, I don't know if it's going to be, the backs. I think it might have to be, maybe one of the receivers if you're looking for a big game.
I don't hate Aaron Jones. I don't hate Jaden Reed, but I just don't think I want to be on this game, which is going to be very odorous. All right, let's get to a better game. Minnesota and New Orleans. This is a 41 spot here, Willie. You're very, very, very tight-lipped with the first game here. Give me one word. Does this game excite you more at all? Do we like Dobbs? Do we like Carr? Do we like Olave? Madison even? You have no Cam Akers, Hawkinson. Any names you'll use?
Well, you're not going to really run a line. See, Minnesota's run defense is very respectable. They have nobody roughs Minnesota's up on their run defense. If you're going to do something, it's going to be by the pass. Okay, it's going to be by the pass. But I just don't see. For me, there's nobody that got my interest in this game that I say I have to have for Minnesota nor for New Orleans, because that thing is a mess with Taysom Hill. Getting in. I mean, I can't play Kamara. I mean, because now that Williams guy had just as many snaps as Kamara did. So at that price point, there's no way I don't want to play either one of them. And then Taysom Hill, when they get to the goal line, we saw that last week. When Kamara got there, Kamara almost got in the goal line, but as soon as he got tackled into 2, you know what was going on. It's Taysom Hill time. And Bakar Hill, no. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not a lot of interest.
What about the other side of the ball? What about Madison? What about Addison? What about Hawkinson?
Yeah, I mean Hawkinson. But there are guys who I would like tight ends better than Hawkinson. That's where you beat New Orleans is by the tight end. So Hawkinson is in play. But I'm just telling, if you ask me, what I like in this game, I mean, I'm not too much in love, with stuff in this game. I mean, I think these guys are okay, but New Orleans defense is kind of respect. I think it's going to be one of those 20-17 type of games. I think that's the type of game I see, and therefore I don't see nobody taking anything down in this area here for me. So,
Swame, Willie's making a good point here. This feels like a one-off game, not a stack game.
Yeah, and again, Doc, I heard you on First Look, and you talked about how maybe Dobbs will come in and pepper Hawkinson with a bunch of targets, kind of how you saw him doing in Arizona with McBride, and I think that's some good analysis. I don't know if I can argue with that, but you just don't necessarily love any of these pieces. If it was any, I would say Hawkinson. Again, I think they're gonna find a way for Madison to share the backfield with whoever they just pulled off the street or practice squad. I don't know if they really think that he's gonna be the guy to get, 18, 20 carries in this one. Doc, this is a tough one, just like the last one. If I had to take any, it's Hawkinson, and I think I would leave the rest of it alone because of matchup and value.
All right, before we delve into this next game, I want to talk to you about game theory. Yuta Cal won another mill last week. Dude's a fantastic player. When I looked at his lineup, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had 3 Texan receivers in there. I could be wrong, but my question is, I can get behind the 1 quarterback, 2 receivers, and the 1 bring back. But I've been seeing these like 1 quarterback, 3 receivers, and a bring back. Willie, I don't know. When I set my lineups, I never feel comfortable with those type of teams. Is that what it takes to win $1 million to put a team out there that you're uncomfortable with? Or do you just have to play smart DFS and hope for the best?
Listen, this year is different from no other year. I mean, the points, we never had points been down like this since in a little bit, so, there are no rules anymore. Scoring. I mean, we've got our worst quarterback play ever. We never had so many backups in lineups now, and points are just down this year. So really, it was a smart play because it was, but sometimes you got to remember that's how the Rams used to be. You remember when the Rams used to play Cup, used to play Woods. And there was one other guy that used to play. Who was the other guy? It was 3 receivers. They won it like that. It was Cup, Woods, and somebody else.
It wasn't Gurley, like the running back, or was it who was the running back?
It was Gurley, but I thought they had 3 receivers though. It was 3 receivers that they had that he went to. But I mean, that's what and you might have that type of situation in Seattle. That we'll talk about a little further when you got some great matchups going against the Commanders. Which a game that I have a lot of interest in, a lot of interest in that game. So I'm just saying, so it was a smart play. I mean, in the game, it went back and forth, so that's another thing you got to get the back and forth, so, I mean, that's why it was a great game stack. I mean, that thing, and it went off, and it was an unlikely game stack, but people
I didn't think it was unlikely, Willie, because I think you had a zone defense against a quarterback who likes to throw against the zone, with receivers who play well in the zone. And then Rachaad White it just seemed like it was a combustible game that people hit on. But let's move to this week, Swami. Texans against the Bengals. T. Higgins already out. Jamar Chase not 100%. Does this devalue Joe Burrow? Are you going to play Chase? Are you going to play Joe Mixon? Do you like Stroud? What's your thoughts on this game?
Doc, I want to get there, but please allow me to weigh in on your question. Your question was about, hey, this 3 wide receiver coming back with 3 wide receivers. I think the lineup I remember seeing, I think it included Tank Dell, Noah Brown, and then Schultz, right? And then they had Stroud. And what you had was somebody who caught lightning in a bottle. And we know in DFS that lightning in a bottle is a thing. But it's not something that you could necessarily, I would say, predict fully, right? They were decent plays. They didn't cost that much. And you saying, hey, if they go off, I got the quarterback. I'm going to be the only person to have it. And they were in a decent spot. I think the first half of that game was something like 17-10 or 17-13.
Right.
That's about what you would expect from
it. Then it exploded.
Then it went for 49 points in the second half. That's just unlikely, not in that game, but just about any NFL game, to include the rookie having a career game, breaking an NFL record, stuff that don't happen, last-second heroics, and a bunch of other stuff. Noah Brown catching one, he broke a big one, 80 yards. It was one of those games. I agree with you. It was set up to be one of those games, but it's just one of those things where if you played that combination of Schultz, Noah Brown, and Tank Dell and Stroud every week, you would be
poor,
broke.
It wouldn't turn out good for you. And then on top of that, the other wacky stuff that started happening that then allowed that, I think, to work as well. You had some, just some scoring being down in some places, some guys getting vultured. It just all went up. It was really just the Houston side of it. They really didn't, and they had White, and that was it. And that won you most tournaments that you were in, just a stack of that game. And we just got to be honest, that's going to happen sometimes. Now, fast forward this week. This week, I think we got a situation where a lot of people are looking to go back to that, and especially with Collins out, I think that doesn't mean a bump to Dell and Schultz and Noah. It means that the coverage might go there as well. So for that reason, I think the Bengals defense is playing a little bit better as the season has gone on. They've started to play a little bit better. The pass rush is getting after folks. I think they got some really smart coaches over there. The way that they call in the game, the way that they make in-game adjustments. I think this game they'll probably lean on Mixon. They'll take the air out of this game. They'll slow down Houston, and we won't see the kind of game that we saw last week from them. So for that reason, the only person I'm interested in is maybe Schultz based on his matchup. But even his price is starting to creep up. But other than that, I think I'll yield. But I wouldn't be mad if you play because, again, you're still getting decent prices on them where you could take a flyer on them, but I don't love that either.
If I'm not mistaken, Dalton Schultz is the 4,900. Let's call it 5,000. 5Xing is 25 points. That's just not happening, right? I mean, even 4Xing is 20 points. I mean, that's a big game. I mean, we're talking about what's 5 for 70 and a touchdown. That's 19. I mean, that's a big game. So right. I like Schultz, but that seems a lot to ask. Willie, do you like this game at all? Do you like Joe Mixon? Do you think Chase, if he plays, will get 1 million targets? What about Tyler Boyd, who I think may be a little interesting? What about this guy Trent Irwin, who might be playing there? Any place for you in this game?
I think Irwin's the guy that's interesting to me. I think Irwin at 3,000. A lot of people are going to go to Rondale Moore. You got to remember the last time it happened in week 5 when Higgins was out, Irwin got 76% of the snaps. And he would be the type of guy that, he's kind of spongy and things of that nature. Now, Schultz, again, he's a play, but like I said, Mixon can get there. The Irv Smith Jr. is interesting. It's really the tight ends that got most meat on the bone. And people ask, well, what's a bump is what that means your receiving core going to be worse. Cincinnati's defense in the last 4 games has allowed 4 touchdowns. And, put pass receivers. They've been stingy. Their defense is really starting to come up and getting after it. So you saw what they did in San Francisco. You know what I mean? So, and the game just exploded. I mean, me and Swame, we call it protocol, the protocol game. The whole Houston team is in protocol, because they just went off. People are going to go back and, man, that it's not going to happen this game. This game is going to be, and I think since Chase is injured a little bit, I just think this is going to be one of the games where they might even lean on Mixon even more. And, if they get a lead, they're just going to try to choke them out, and just try to get out the game, and then you leave it at that. So everybody is trying to catch that. If everybody thinking Mr. Dale's going to have that type of game again,
they had 3 receivers over 30. Miko Collins was bringing up the rear, and he still had 14 fantasy points.
Right.
So the fact that they had a group of receivers or pass catchers go for over 100 and probably 10 fantasy points is
crazy.
I would stay away from them jokers.
All right. I want to talk about your team, Swami, the Baltimore Ravens, who play very well at home. They get Cleveland. Now, this game, on all accounts, should be lower scoring. 2 good defenses, 2 good pass rushes. But sometimes when you put the low-scoring game together, you know what happens? Boom. It blows up, and all of a sudden it's a 50-burger. And we're like, how did I miss that? What does this game need to explode?
Dynamite, TNT. Doc is unlikely to explode. I don't know what else to tell you. So I think it was a great philosopher that once said, "My mind's telling me no. My mind is telling me no, Doc. It is no explosion here." And and the reason why division game is going to be a lot of defense back and forth for this game. Both offenses are going to stagger along. Then at some point, it may be a couple of plays. I'm not sure what Watson will be able to do. We didn't see him in that first game, I don't think, against the Ravens. So he could bring a spark, but again, they don't have Chubbs. He was a big part of those games against the Ravens. I'm not a huge believer in I haven't driven a Ford in quite some time. Doc, I cannot get behind the Brown side of it. The way the Ravens defense is looking, it may be some points here, but just the way the Ravens roughed up the last couple of teams and pushed them around, I see Cleveland having a little bit more defense and been a little bit more familiar with the Ravens, but they still feel like 23-6.
No.
They're going to rough them up.
This is the NFL. Everybody scores something.
23-13.
All right. There you go.
26-16. It's not good.
Willie, is it better than Swami thinks?
Listen, let me say this. It might be even worse because I looked at Cleveland the last 3 or 4 games. They have allowed 3 points to the tight end total. 3 points. And it was a difference when Watson was not there and they had this other joker in the game. It's a big difference. And let me tell you that Ravens defense has allowed 13 points a game. And they're getting better. I'm just saying, this is going to be some snot on the ground on both sides. Because Lamar, I saw what Lamar did the last time, and everybody going to chase that game, but hell no. He had like 20-something yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. It just happened to work that way. You know what I mean? And then he didn't pass for a lot either. And they just played the short side of the field. I think they're going to be just traveling from the 20s to the 20s. I mean, I'm gonna tell you because listen, Cleveland really do have a good defense. They do, but the Ravens' defense is even better. So for me, and that guy and that little Mitchell guy got a little hammy. Oh hell,
I know, crazy. So let me tell you something about him. He played. I picked him up. He played. Then all of a sudden he had a hamstring injury. I dropped him. Of course, he comes back last week and looks like Devon Chan's brother. And then when everybody goes to pick him up in high stakes, what happens? Another hamstring. Dude can't even stay on the table. The only table he's on is a trading table. Unreal. All right.
I think this whole game is going to be a hamstring. So no thank you on anything.
All right. Tennessee, Tampa. I can see where this game could go a little bit higher than we think, guys. I can see that Tennessee doesn't let up a lot of points to opposing quarterbacks, but they let up big plays. So maybe it's Mike Evans going 5 for 118, but he doesn't score, but we're seeing some field goals. But Rashad White's played well. Hopkins has played well. Will Levis is now there. Swame, can you buy into this game being a little bit more percolating than we think?
I'm trying to, Doc. I really am. I heard what Alicia said, and I respect Alicia a lot, but putting Levis in that QB just seems risky. I know she wasn't high on Geno, even though she admitted that Geno has been very kind to her, especially helping her win $1 million. So I cannot see. I'm not gonna say it, Doc. I think if your game theory is that Levis is a play, then I think that brings in Hopkins, and I could see you wanting to play that and then coming back with Evans. I just don't see that. And so the only piece that I would be interested in, it would have been Evans. I don't like his price, and I don't like the game theory that I currently have. I just see this game being one of those games where the kickers are probably going to be involved. Like Wall said, in between the 20s. I just don't see fantasy goodness. I don't see, I'm saying combined 4 or 5 touchdowns. I just don't see it.
Baker Mayfield, guys, is at 241.5 passing yards according to Vegas. Willie, that's not a little number. Baker's had 190 before. They're thinking he's going to throw a little bit. Can you get behind Evans, Godwin, or what about our man Rashad White? You need a 4 or 5 exit, and Rashad White, I believe, is what, 58, 5,900. Price is right there.
My 2 guys, and I'm probably going to take 2 guys from this game, not as a core play, but as a play will be Hopkins and White. And the reason being is, the way you're going to beat Tennessee is going to be by the pass. And White has had at least 45 yards in the last 3 or 4 games. And listen, White does not miss. Listen, White might go for 60 or 70 and have 7. He might have one of those 10 catch games. Because if he have 10 catches for 70 yards, you're talking about 17 points right there. And if he happen to fall in the end zone, you're talking about 23. And then you're talking about you going against that horrible pass defense because you're not going to run them. You don't play Henry in this game with that big Vita Vea or whatever that dude's name is. You don't that big rascal. You just leave it alone. But so White is a man of interest for me in this game, and it'll be coming back with I like Hopkins a lot in this game. So those will be the 2, but it would not be a stack, and I would not have Mr. Levis. No, thank you. I got other quarterbacks that I could play.
All right, before I go to the next game, I missed a player in the last game. I just want to ask you yes or no. Devin Singletary wet the bed last week. Dropped a deuce on everybody's team. Damian Pierce is out. Is he worth 4,700 this week, Swami? Yay or nay?
Doc, 4,700 is hard to just say hell no. So I'm going to just say no.
Willie, 4,700, Devin Singletary. Does he wet the bed this week?
Pass. So listen, I don't need his 10 points that he's going to give me. Okay. That's what I see him get. Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this next game here. It is my favorite 1:00 game by far. San Francisco against Jacksonville. San Francisco has struggled. Purdy wasn't 100%. Debo wasn't there. Swami, are we going to see a better version of the 49ers? Jacksonville lets up receptions to the running back galore. Is McCaffrey worth paying up? Ayuk kills this kind of coverage that Jacksonville throws out there. Do you like any 49ers? Do you like any Jaguars? Do you want to play this game at all?
First thing, Doc, I want to say that I want to change my Singletary to a maybe. From a no to a maybe.
Okay.
And it's only because I've seen this before when everybody might be thinking, Stroud in the past, and they're preparing to stop that run game. And then it kind of maybe opens up some things for the back. And so I'm a yield. I'm as Wall say, I'm a acquiesce. I'm a yield. So as far as like how I think this game could go, and I had two different game theories. And one was kind of like, hey, Jacksonville's defense has they've been sneaky. I think they've been kind of sneaky. And I think the 49ers defense, I think they're still, pretty good, even though they've had a tough couple of games. And so I thought about that a little bit. And then on the other side, I said, I think both offenses are good enough to beat the defense based on what they do well and what they don't. So with that being said, I like a lot of the pieces, but I don't know if I like a full stack, if that makes sense. So the pieces I like the most, Deebo Samuel's at his price, him just coming back. I think, him just being out there and his ability to kind of make plays, he's a man of interest. You like McCaffrey every week. The only concern for him is his price and will he be able to even hit value? And it's very tough to put together a lineup because sometimes it start not being just his value, Doc. It's what he's doing to the rest of your lineup. He might be a gem, but he caused you to put in two turds.
But let me ask you a question here. How many running backs realistically can get 20 points this week? Not many. Maybe 5 dudes. And that's what I'm worried about. And that's why McCaffrey might be worth paying for.
But maybe I'll take what Walls described as the 18 from White. And then that allows me to, and I know we haven't got here yet, it allows me to put in, say, St. Brown and somebody else. Versus if I go with McCaffrey, now I have to go with these two maybes that we hope even in the game or get 2 tar. We're looking for lightning in the bottom.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so to finish that out is just, I like Ridley. I think everybody's kind of still, Kirk's in play. Everybody's kind of looking at ETN. I think he's in play. Again, I heard what Alicia said, and I hear a lot of people talking about ETN, but I'm leaning more Ridley. He's my guy today on that side, and I'm gonna take Sanders on the other side. I think McCaffrey's always a play. Purdy's a man of interest as well.
Willie, Alicia said ETN was going to get 2 touchdowns this week. She called Gus Edwards 2 touchdowns last week. I don't see it, but maybe I'm missing something. Who do you like in this game?
If I had an interest, it would be ETN. Would be a guy. I mean, ETN has been balling. I can't play McCaffrey. McCaffrey hasn't rushed over 60 yards in 4 straight games. And at 91, 9,200, no, sir. And this Jacksonville defense, I might have a little interest in playing it. Playing the Jacksonville because what they like 25, 26 or something.
I think 24.
Very cheap, 24.
2,400. So I mean, listen, Purdy been more like Turdy lately. With the 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions he's been playing, and then you playing in Jacksonville. You know what I mean? So I just think that this game is going to be one of those, blah type of games. You got Chase Young. So what the quarterback for Jacksonville does now, he throws the ball within 2.4 seconds. Now, he has one of the quickest releases. But guess who got the best defense against quick releases? San Francisco defense. You know what I mean? And now you got Chase Young, who's going to be on that opposite side to give a little back and forth for Bosa and Young. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I get you. I know people like this, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Mr. McCaffrey will be a fade for me. I will not have Mr. McCaffrey in one lineup. I can see getting some on Deebo, but their price points. I got a game that's going to be out in Seattle. That's how you win this thing. You don't pay $9,200. The way you stack it, you got some games that's going to be in Arizona, that's going to be in Seattle. That you got some people with prices that we can get with. This game right here, no, thank you. Y'all can go ahead and chase it. Hey, you can have it. You got the big names. Go ahead and get to play your killers, but hell no, I ain't playing them.
All right, let's get to the 4 o'clock games. We got 2 good ones and 2 not so good ones. Let's talk about one of the not so good ones here. The Giants and Dallas. I'm just going to ask about 3 people. Easy there, easy. player number one, and we could keep this short. Are we in on Tony Pollard, Willie?
I think he's a man of interest.
Man of interest.
Are we on CD Lamb?
I'm not going to go there.
Not based on game theory. He is a play if the Giants are able to keep it even remotely close by not turning the ball over.
But the Giants play a lot of man defense, and he rips man coverage to shreds.
The concern with Lamb is that he's got 6 catches for 70 yards, and that he's on the sideline.
Okay.
And so Pollard and the rest of the offense, while the defense is continuing to kind of, get after whoever the Giants got back there. So,
the number one game theory question: A, do you play the Cowboys defense? And B, the dumber question, but maybe the brilliant question: can you play the Giants defense? Because 40% of people will play the Cowboys defense. If you even play the Giants defense, and considering if the Giants keep this game close, it will be because their defense played well. Willie's giving me the look. Let's just break it down to, can you play the Dallas defense?
Just no, but hell no.
You can play Dallas defense.
Dallas defense.
Are you going to pay for Dallas's defense?
I most likely not. I mean, I might have. When I play a Pollard, I can play the defense. It goes together. You know what I mean? But that's when I will have those games in those next 2 games, the 4 o'clock games that we're going to have interest in.
Okay.
You have a lot of those.
Do you not like my game theory concept here? If 40% of people have the Cowboys defense, if you play the Giants defense, you'll have them at like 1% owned. If the Giants play well, you knock out 40% of your competition.
That's not exactly how I'm looking at that. I think if you play the Giants defense, that 40%, the Cowboys are likely. They got some guy you might have heard of. He played on Taxi. His name's Danny DeVito. I'm sorry. Maybe it's his little brother. I don't know who this guy is, but I'll tell you one thing. He's going to be under siege. The Giants have not been able to protect the quarterback. They couldn't protect Daniel Jones. They had a couple of games. Barkley doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do much against these Cowboys. It is a divisional game, so it is maybe some hope that the Giants just don't turn the ball over, and they do a bunch of, I don't know, these plays where they direct snap it to Barkley or something. Maybe some weird scenario where they just limit the turnovers, and because they hire on Doc, then maybe you could have saved some money. I just don't know if I can't see it happening, Doc.
All right. Swami, your camera's freezing, by the way. Just wanted you to know that. All right. Let's get to Atlanta against Arizona. Kyler Murray is back. James Conner, good chance he's back. Atlanta, they should be able to run in this game. Maybe Arthur Smith has heard enough of people wanting his job that they're willing to give Bijan Robinson the football, Willie. Drake London has a sensational matchup if he plays. I don't know if he will. Do you like this game, Willie, in any way, shape, or form?
London's playing. He's playing.
Okay.
This is where you can do your little stacks here. You could play Heineke at 5,100. You could play. I hate to say this because Arthur Smith is the dumbest coach I've ever seen in my life. But $6,000 is too cheap. And I know Swami's going on Dijon, but I get it. Swami, I understand. I see how you feeling. I understand. Listen, I get it. We know he's a dum-dum. He's a dum-dum.
Did you just say, I just want to make sure I heard you right, because my camera was glitching. Did you just say play Heineke and Bijan Robinson?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And I'm going to tell you why I don't hate it. Real quick, Willie, if you play Heineke, Bijan, and London, just those 3 guys, are you not getting almost all the points from the Falcons this weekend?
That's a great question.
And you coming back with Trey McBride. at 3,500.
Put
They got his quarterback.
You had to put Younghoe Koo in that stack.
I'm just saying, but you come back with Trey McBride. I'm just saying, listen, this is the type of this is the type of game, you know, or you go to the other side. This is Murray's first game back.
Brown, maybe more. You can't come back with McBride. Come on, son.
I don't know why.
I don't agree. I think you can come back with McBride, and then what you could do is you could
just
start throwing in everybody: Jamar Chase, Tony Pollard. You could just start like lighting it up.
I'm just telling you, McBride is a play.
McBride's a play.
But Bijan, I'm telling you, this is where I'm going to make. Listen, I'm going to have, and I hate to say this because this Arthur Smith is a dumb guy, but I'm going to have Bijan in 50% of my lineups. I'm going to take the shot. Because if he can't do it against these dudes, he can't do it, man. And Arthur Smith, for the first time, took his hat off. So he maybe got a little brain on his head. Well, I saw he did an interview with his hat off.
And this
and
was
he stayed looking like a pedophile. So maybe now he's going to do something.
I see what you thought here. I'm going to pick the stinkiest game on the slate, and then I'm going to pretend that these not the worst coaches as well on the slate. These not the worst decisions been made all year have been these two teams. And then suddenly they're going to get it together. I see what you
all we're saying is I think the Bijan Trey McBride correlation is smart. It's smart. I don't know whether you want to do Heineke or London. I'm not saying that's too genius. But I think Bijan McBride together is a smart play. Smart.
I'm just saying, listen, Heineke is a functional quarterback. Heineke get 2 or 3 touchdowns. I mean, listen, they finally got a quarterback. Now, the quarterback from last week, oh, hell no. But you got Tyler Murray is biting at the bit. I mean, he wants to come back and show something. And this is the time for him to do something. I'm just saying, this would be the type of game that could go off at low price, and then we could get our other guys we want to get in here. But but of course, we like the other game probably the best. But I'm saying this is some action in this game. I'm going to play Bijan. Robinson is going to be in my lineups. I hate to say it, but I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to take the shot on Bijan this week.
Swame, do you want 3x on DraftKings, 4x on DraftKings, or 5x on DraftKings? What is the magic number?
5x.
Taylor Heineke is going to cost you $5,100. True? That means he needs about 25 points to be 5x. How many quarterbacks can hit 5x this week?
And there's the combination of 5x across the lineup as well. I just wanted to add that in there. So it is. So you will put in some guys who I think have higher ceilings, right? And then guys who have great matchups. I get the falling in love with just taking a shot, and I'm not mad with a shot, but the whole lineup can't be a shot.
I know, but Dak Prescott is not hitting 5x. He's hitting 3x, right?
Because he's going against the Giants, and
but he's a safe play, right? His floor is probably 18. So I'm saying, how many guys can win you a GPP?
We like Schultz, right? We like Tank Dell. We like Brown. We like Miko Collins. We just put in play all 3. What I'm suggesting is you can't take 3 or 4 pieces you don't like and just put them together.
Well, I'm not going to say because, hey, listen, like I told you, McBride is in play this time. McBride is a hell of a tight end. First of all, you win against Cleveland's defense, okay? You ain't going against Cleveland's defense this week. And you got the main quarterback that scrambles coming back, and he likes to throw the ball to the tight end. That's why McBride is in play for me. McBride stuck it up last week. Guess what? Going right back to the well because McBride is a baller. He can play. He just got to have a quarterback that's going to throw him the rock. And I just got one
question for Walls before you move on. When did you start liking Mr. Murray? When did that happen?
Because he's been out of football.
He's been out of football
for a long time. Listen. What I'm telling you is, I think he throws the ball to the tight end, and you got to scramble the quarterback. He might get one of those situations where he's scrambling and he throws the ball 40 yards downfield to McBride. You know, that's the kind of play.
40 yards to McBride.
Listen,
all right. We're falling off. He's not getting 40 yards to McBride. Okay, Let's get to the two
I
most
said throw the
important
ball.
games.
I mean, I think he get 100 yards this game, McBride. I'm just telling you. You laughed at my tight end
I love
last week when I
McBride.
told you cotton. When I
But
said
Willie,
cotton.
will McBride be 30% owned?
No.
No.
Hell no.
Hell no.
He ain't gonna be 5% owned.
I don't know. Okay. Maybe. We'll see.
You got Schultz. You got a lot of tight ends that the people are going to go to. You got Schultz. It's going to be one of the most popular tight ends they have. You people going to pay down for Irv Smith Jr. I mean,
nobody wants Irv Smith Jr. Even Irv Smith's mom just texted me and said, "Don't play my son."
McBride is not going to be 30% owned. He's not.
Let's get to Detroit against the Chargers. I love me this game. I love this game. I love these next two games. I might not even put anybody else on my roster except these two games right here. Detroit and the Chargers. Swame, I think Herbert's better. Goff is in a great spot. St. Brown, Keenan Allen, Laporta, Gerald Everett, Austin Eckler. I can go on and on. What do you like in this game?
Doc, this might surprise you. I hope you and Willie sitting down. But this game is turning stinky by the minute. Here's what I mean. You got that guy coming back, taking Gibbs out the mix. Goff hasn't been protected. The Chargers pass rush is coming on. These dudes been looking like gangbusters. They've been playing. I said, that's not shaping up looking good. Like Walls, you think Walls got a problem with Mr. McCaffrey? Mr. Eckler isn't just lighting it up even. These guys are living by targets and catches and touchdowns at this point. The price on these jokers like Keenan Allen and these guys, Doc, I am going to recuse myself and allow Mr. Willie Walls to have at it because I like Brown. I like the spot he's in. I like Laporte. I like the spot he's in. But these guys' prices and the game theory that I'm struggling with right now, I just don't know if they're going to hit value. So I'm a yield.
Willie, you like this game more than Swame does?
I like it on the Detroit side. First of all, I'm not touching either back. I'm not going to touch either back because listen, the Chargers have been lights out against the run. Okay, so let me say that. And this is not the same Chargers from last year against the run. Okay, but against the pass, yes, I'm gonna have me some golf. Because I think Laporta and I think I think the receiver Brown, yeah, is
definitely
in play. So I'm going to play that because I think they got to do it by the pass, but I'm I cannot play Keenan Allen because the guy that's going to be on him has done well this year. I cannot play Keenan at that price. He's an out. It will be only one guy that I will go to on that other side if I had to play it because I cannot play Eckler because they're not opening up enough holes. The Detroit's defense is respectful. I can't do it at those price points. I can't do it. I'm only interested on the side of Detroit side.
So would you bring back anybody? Would you bring back Gerald Everett? Who would you bring back?
If I had to bring back somebody, the guy that I will bring back will be let me go to the Chargers game right here. Hold on.
Nobody. He's not interested in that side. And let me tell you about the Detroit side. The last two games, Goff has had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He's been horrible the last 2 games, and he's going against a defense that's coming on. It's some risk here. This one isn't as clean as what people.
The Chargers defense is coming on, right? Who did the Chargers play last week?
Oh, we know. Who? They played decently against Dallas.
The Jets stink. Who do the Chargers play before that? The Bears. The Bears stink. That's why the Chargers defenses look this good. Come on.
So they played the Raiders. Didn't look very great. Gave up 6 sacks, and now they got to go to LA to play. And Mr. Goff, you've said it a lot. Even wearing your Lions hat, he doesn't look the same outside of the Superdome.
No, he does not look the same outside. He does not.
I'm just saying.
But he's playing in another dome.
When did that matter? It's not domes. It's not the fact of playing indoors.
And he played in Los Angeles for the Rams many years ago. Does that count?
Dr. Guy was Quentin. I was talking about Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson. That's the guy I was talking about. The 4100.
He can see targets. He can see targets. All right, let's get to the big game of the day.
And I don't like the way Herbert's playing. He's playing terrible. He's been sucking, But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
All right, last game. Yes, Neural Highway was Quentin Johnson. We definitely agree with that. Okay. Seahawks against the Commanders. This was the game that I called out on Wednesday night with Alicia. I said I'm playing Geno Smith, and I don't care what anybody else tells me. I am playing Geno this week. Now, here's what I don't know. I know I'm playing Geno. Is it Metcalf? Is it Lockett? Is it JSN? Is it two of them? Is it all three of them? Do I bring it back with McLaurin? I don't think so. Do I bring it back with Dotson? I don't think so. Logan Thomas has bent me over all season. I hate this dude. Feel like I'm in prison, and I see Logan Thomas coming in the shower, and I'm ducking. I don't know.
Hold up, man. Doc,
Swami, what do I do here?
Doc, let me make it even a little bit worse for you. If you think Nasty Nate was coming to take your fruit cup, you really ain't gonna like this part because it's a guy named Kenneth Walker III, who every time I go and grab this old Geno Smith, this Geno, guess who comes away with 2 touchdowns and 100 yards? Kenneth Walker III. I was all on Geno right about the same time you was, and I keep looking at this guy, this matchup, and Walker's name just keep appearing out of nowhere. It's like I was eating alphabet soup earlier, Doc. Walker's name. I had alphabets for breakfast. Walker's name. I keep seeing Walker, Doc. I don't like it, but it doesn't look good. And I'm telling you, like you guys are on ETN, I'm on Walker. Something sneaky about that fella. And every time I'm on Geno, he comes through and he takes, I'm talking about the bag and run off with it.
Willie, are you playing Metcalf? You playing Lockett?
Yes,
Lockett always has
the way you beat the Commanders is you beat them by the pass. And see, this is what makes the game such a good game. Now,
which guy are you playing, Willie? Which guy are you playing?
No. But let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you the stat of the guy who I like the other guy on the other side too. Okay. 229. 2,442 yards, 2,471 yards, 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 14 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. What 2 quarterbacks do you think I'm talking about?
Sam Howell.
Okay, but who's the other quarterback?
Geno Smith.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
You getting Sam Howell, who's got Patrick Mahomes type number this year, and you see at 5,900.
I think it's blasphemy, Swami. So do you want to play Sam Howell in this game, or do you want to play Geno?
I'm gonna play Geno Smith is who I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna play Sam Howell too. I'm gonna play it the other way too.
So which Commanders are you playing with him?
I will play Dotson. I will play Dotson and Sam Howell, and I will run it back with Metcalf and JS and that JS guy. That's what. So
no Lockett for you.
I will throw Lockett in the lineup. I mean, Lockett is in play, but I think JSN is coming on. You know what I mean? I love the way JSN is playing now, and they go into him a lot. But I love Geno Smith. I disagree with Swami. Geno Smith is in play this week. If Geno Smith can't do it this week, listen, he's played. Look at the 3 defenses he went against. He went against Cincinnati. He went against the Ravens, and he went against the Browns. He's going to feel like he's been let out of jail going against the Commanders. The Commanders give it up to everybody. And I'm just telling you, those 2 receivers are in play. I'm going to play Metcalf as a lock. He's a lock. He will be in every lineup that I have. Metcalf will be. They play a lot of one-on-one type of stuff, And what does Metcalf do? He eats that up.
Eats it up.
Metcalf is a lock. If Geno can't do it this time, I will don't ever mention Geno Smith's name again. But this is where you gotta let go all the stuff that happened and play him. And I'm gonna play Howell too.
Can both those guys eat? Can Metcalf and Lockett do this week what Dell and Collins and all those guys did last week?
Yes, because you know why? The Commanders throw the ball. That's all they do. They don't run the ball anymore. They throw the ball. They throw the ball. The game is going to be a fast. I'm just telling you, they throw the ball. And that's how you beat the Commanders, by the pass. You're not going to be Kenneth Walker and them down of the whole field. You beat them by the pass. That's how you're going to beat them.
Doc, first of all, let me get the people out there in podcast land a disclaimer. Those views that you just heard, those are Willie Walls' views. They are not shared by this podcast, by Dr. Roto, or the members of this team. The fact that he compares Sam Howell to Patrick Mahomes is so outrageous. Sir, you are a threat to national security at this moment.
But let me say that. Let me say that.
Pick you up.
Yeah, but let me say that. My point being is that you could pay $9,400 for Patrick Mahomes, but you can't pay $5,900 for Howell that throws the ball more. I don't even want to hear it. I'm just telling you the way they've been playing. How is it? No, he's not. Yeah, but he got the stat. His stats are almost like Patrick Mahomes. So you can say what you want to say.
Showing signs of some type of intoxication or inebriation of some sort. Please bring an 8 litter. Thank you. Over. So, Doc, like I was saying.
And you're not going to play Geno. You're not playing Geno. Man, you're talking out the side of your neck. You're going to be on Geno.
We need the medevac immediately. The condition is deteriorating. Doc, let me say this. I tell him all the time, stat man, this is what can happen with the stats. They can be totally misleading. What we seen from Sam Howell was a couple of matchups where he matched up well. 2 of them against the Eagles, I think 1 against the Bears, and I think maybe he saw Denver or something. That's it. Then the cape comes back off. He goes back to being Sam Howell, which is decent. They're playing from behind or in a game where they can't run the ball. They throwing it a ton. And so that gives the appearance that he's Patrick Mahomes to somebody to the untrained eye or to somebody who is struggling with some type of hallucinogen. But anyway, I digress. So no, Sam Howell is in no way, shape, form, or fashion anything like a Patrick Mahomes at this point in his career.
I'm just saying his stats are like Patrick Mahomes this year, sir. That's what I said. The facts are the facts. I know about Patrick Mahomes, but that goes to show you why that coordinator that is with the Commanders now is the man compared to that sorry coordinator for Kansas City.
I got it. We're gonna get you some help. So, Doc, as long as we can agree on, I think Metcalf is a play. I think he's due. He's overdue, right? To have a game. I don't think he's had one of those Metcalf type games all year.
Lockett hasn't had one of those games either.
Or Lockett, right? I'm not mad at that. This could be a situation where you stack them both and you come back with Geno. But in that case, you got to come back with somebody. And that's going to have to be Dotson or McLaurin, right? I don't think it's Gibson. I think you guys mentioned that on first look. And I definitely don't think it's going to be maybe taking a tight end.
Is it Curtis Samuel?
It could be a Curtis Samuel. It could be Crowder. But I'm thinking one of the big 2. I'm thinking a big 2 right now. And I'm thinking Dotson, McLaurin, because for this thing to pop, for that game 3 to hit, you're going to need some back and forth, kind of like in that Tampa game. You're going to need a little more than just, 7, 8, and a touchdown, right? They can have one of their better games of the year, but we need that kind of love where you got 2 guys going for 30, 2 guys going for 25 plus to take this thing down. And so that's what I think the game 30 looks like here. I'm not mad at it. I'm still kind of cautious. Every time I think Geno's going to do it for me this year and give me that Alicia Hunt type of situation, is Kenneth Walker wearing the cape when he comes running in. I could not let that Sam Howell thing go, Doc. Apologies.
Well, how do you think they're going to get? I'm just telling you, Sam Howell is going to throw at least 2 to 3 touchdowns in this game. That's what they're going to do. That's why I like this game, and I do like bringing it back for Commander.
Okay. Here's the problem in this game for me. I love the game, but I'd have to play 20 lineups to get the permutations right. What if it's right? Geno, Lockett, Logan Thomas. Geno, DK, Logan Thomas. Geno, Lockett, JSN, McLaurin. There's so many guys. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't.
I like Geno, Kenneth Walker, and Metcalf. They're the three that I like because I keep telling y'all I'm definitely afraid of this guy running into then breaking one late and me looking like a gump again.
Come on, I got to get ready to head out, y'all.
All right. Give me your stack, Willie. Give me your stack. Go ahead.
Okay. Shoot, which game did I want to do? Ooh. Swame, you do yours first. I'll be there. I'm gonna do it. My stack that's for the thing is going to be Geno, JSN, and Metcalf coming back with Dotson.
Swame, who's your stack?
I'm not mad at that stack. I think I'm gonna have to go with maybe the game I think might have the most possibility of back and forth. And so I'm thinking maybe it's the 49ers. But I feel like that's kind of too easy, Doc. So I don't want to give you McCaffrey, Samuels, and Purdy coming back with Ridley. I don't want to do that. It's too obvious. Better than that. So I think what I'm going to give you is probably...
Take your time.
I think I want to go with maybe... No, I think Goff, St. Brown, Laporta coming back. I think that's too easy as well. You know what?
Hold on 1 sec. Go ahead.
Let's go with
Say something. I gotta go. Say something.
Oh, sir, sir, I know you paused, asked me to come in and jump back in. Only to steal a game that I was going to go with. Now I got to go to a new game.
Oh, no, because you talked about him. Go.
Don't worry. I'll give you one here. Let me give me Baker, Evans, and White.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then and then come back with Schultz.
Okay.
All right.
I like Schultz.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hopkins? Oh my God. I'm like, what game are you talking about here?
Yeah.
I will go, because I said it on Wednesday, I will go Geno, Lockett, and I don't know who I'm coming back with. I don't. Heat Hover, I said Logan Thomas. I'll say Logan Thomas for now. All right, Willie, I want the balls to the calls wall for Willie Walls before we go. What you got?
Trey McBride, and this Trenton Irwin guy for Cincinnati.
Swame?
I'm gonna give you Calvin Ridley, and if that's not a deep enough play, I'm going Rondale Moore.
Really, Rondale Moore? Interesting. I'm going to give you a guy that nobody's going to play because people look at Trenton Irwin and people look at Jamar Chase. You know who nobody's looking at? Tyler Boyd, who slays zone defenses. Tyler Boyd's getting 6 for 80 and a touchdown. My guy.
But his price is increasing, Doc. He's no longer the Tyler Boyd that's around 3,800. He's the Tyler Boyd who's going to have to give us a little bit more.
I know, but if I can get 20 from him, I'll still be good.
Yeah, you'll be awesome with 20 for sure.
Okay. All right. I know Willie's got to get out of here. I know we got to get out of here. We wish you much luck this week. For Swame, Willie, it's Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.